for more on this story, we can bring in our environmental affairs editor, Mairead Dundas. Good afternoon, Mairead. We just heard there from the Director General of UNESCO. She said that human beings depend on biodiversity. What exactly is she talking about?
Well, when we hear the word biodiversity, sometimes we think of the famous animals that have been threatened of being extinct. We think of the giant panda of the blue whale. But what we mean is every living species on Earth, every plant, every animal, every insect. And as we just heard, as Audrey Azuli mentioned, the intricate way that they are connected. And that's what actually makes human life on Earth feasible. To give you an example, plants produce the oxygen we breathe. Bees pollinate the food we eat. We know that fungi needs to exist to keep the soil healthy. We know that the natural world produces our fresh water and the medicines that we take. If we take a closer look at the species that are at risk, there's up to 1 million of them. Well, there's 40% of them are amphibians, such as frogs. We've got 30% of different types of plants, such as conifers. We can also see that there's reef corals and sharks and rays. It goes on. Mammals, for example, the African elephant could be extinct within our generation. Now, losing one species might not seem like such a big deal, but it's the way that they're interconnected is so important. And if we consider, for example, taking a brick out of a house, just by taking one brick, we're going to weaken the structure. And the more we take out, the greater the chance that the whole structure is going to collapse.
And what's causing these mass extinctions?
Well, this report makes it very loud and clear. It's humans, it's us, it's our behaviour, but more than that, they've gone and listed them in descending order of those that are having the most impact. And the overarching biggest culprit is land use change, the way that we go in and we clear forests because we want to build our cities, we want to build our farms. Agriculture is a huge problem, and we also, of course, want to build industry and have businesses. But it's not the only problem. Some of the other causes, if you will, tend to be, as we can see there, we can see that there's fishing and hunting, so we're actually exploiting animals ourselves. Climate change is obviously a problem. Rising temperatures are impacting their habitat. Pollution, we're throwing, it's not only pollution in terms of cars, but also pesticides and also invasive species. We're either accidentally or sometimes purposely bringing species that aren't in their natural environment, introducing them in an area where they shouldn't be, and it's having devastating effects. Now, the lead author has said that we have concentrated governments on climate change for a long time, but the loss of biodiversity could have at least the same impact, if not more, than climate change on the well-being of humans.
So can we do something about it, or is it just too little too late?
Well, I don't think anyone here would say that it's too late, even though the need for action couldn't be more present. We know that right now, environment leaders from the G7 countries are meeting here in France in Metz right now, tackling precisely biodiversity. It's not only governments who can act, but they need to lead the way. And to just give you some concrete examples, they need to do more to protect species. They need to stop the illegal trafficking of animals. They need to leave land alone for wildlife so that they can thrive. But even you and I, Delano, can do stuff. We can start using more environmentally friendly products at home. We can even plant trees, local native trees that are going to help our bees. We need those bees because they help us produce the food that we eat.
Okay, so not all bleak there.
Not all bleak.
Mairead, thank you very much for that. Mairead Dundas there.